I got a live one here. Charlotte Bryce, 7 years old, yellow dress, white shoes, pink socks. Abduction. Right in front of her mom.
Charlotte!
This is Sergeant Casey requesting an Amber Alert, immediate dispatch.
You got kids?
No.
It's Big Jake. He's turning 5. Oh, I hate these.
Hey, look at that car right there.
911, what's your emergency?
Yes, I think I see the car from the Amber Alert. Get closer. Go! We saw her.
You saw Charlotte Bryce.
We're trying to catch up to him.
We're doing like 100 miles an hour. If he sees us, he could do something crazy.
Listen, you need to back off that car.
Are you guys coming?
The closest available unit is half an hour away.
I've lost signal.
Are you calling them back? Are they coming?
If we don't find him, she'll be gone forever.
We need to exercise extreme caution. This creep is armed, and they're not.
They're down there.
What is this? Oh, the door.
Charlotte?
Kerry, Summer. You can call you Joe? Yeah, I'll call you Joe. All right. So I did a little reading beforehand with the movie Amber Alert, and I know that Kerry, I believe it was you that was inspired or influenced by seeing a Amber Alert sign while you were driving. So my question is to probably all three of you: how quickly did this process go into work? Like, as soon as you see the sign, is it as soon as you get home, or is it like, we need to brainstorm some things? Like, how does that process work?
Well, we saw a sign. Summer and I were driving from LA to Arizona to visit her mother-in-law, and my mother-in-law. Yep, your mom. And I saw this sign, and I was like, "Hey, Summer, is there a bat in the back of the car? We're gonna run this off the road. We're gonna hit him." Summer was like, "That sounds crazy. Like, is that safe?" We had this hour and a half long discussion of what would you do. I went home that night and scoured the internet. I was like, this idea is great. Yeah. It's also simple. Why hasn't it been done before? And so then
10 years later, here we are.
Yeah, well, yeah, we made a found footage. We had $5,000. I didn't want to make it because at first I had these ideas. I got out of film school. We were going to get El Chivo was going to be our cinematographer. I was going to have like 7 cranes. We were going to have $50 million. No one knew who I was. Right. So we had $5,000 in the bank, and then we made it. But this is the film that we always wanted to make. And so Lionsgate, January of 2020, kind of, I mean, how deep do we go? I was at the Bellagio. Okay. I was at the Bellagio Sportsbook in August of 2020. Adam Sorensen from Lionsgate read the script and was like, "This thing kills." It's like, "I've been there for 12 years. I've only passed up one script my entire tenure. So this is good. We have to find the right partner." He's like, "I know the girl who we need to get it to. Her name's Lauren, but she's going to have time. Just wait." He didn't get back to us. We got on a Zoom in January of 2021, 6 months later. Lauren was like, had a game plan. She's like, "I know a producer." So we talked to Joe. And then our first Zoom was, I was once again in Vegas in a hotel. I know. It was March Madness. I go every year with my brothers, and Joe and I bonded because he also loves hitting parlays. And it was March of 2021 when we all hooked up.
Okay.
And then Joe has been helping us champion it since then. I feel like I'm talking a lot, but is that
You got the mic,
that's
babe.
kind of the timeline.
Okay.
Is that right?
You know more than us, man. That was perfect.
Yeah. So then, okay. So then,
I remember Vegas.
yeah. Then after that, it was a go with Joe and us, Lionsgate, and that was. Then it took 2 years. It was smooth. It was.
Quick 2 years
It took
later.
it seemed like forever because we had the money, we had all the resources. It was just finding the right people. Is that right? What do you guys think of those last couple of years?
I feel like you did a great job. I don't know if we need to move forward from that or if you want more.
How does it when he has who has the are you by yourself when you see the sign, or are you together?
We were together.
Okay, so who
So we bounce it off
is
of
a
each
little
other.
more gung ho about getting it?
I'm the crazy one.
Okay.
Who is like doesn't think of anything, and then Summer was the one was like, hey, hold on.
And actually, Kerry's writing partner, Josh Oram, is the even farther. He's like, I wouldn't even mess with it. I wouldn't even call it in. Like, I got stuff to do today. Like, it's probably not the car. So the two of them together writing it makes it really interesting because you have two very different perspectives on what would you do if you saw an Amber Alert.
Yeah.
One that's like, I'm good. I don't need to check.
I feel like I know how Joe would be.
Joe, what would you be?
Go all in. Yeah, I would definitely go for it.
All in.
Yeah, I'd figure it out.
Yeah.
I want to be a hero.
Yeah, and that kind of leads me into like my next question is like, how do you balance that perspective of Shane says in the movie, he sees the Amber Alert, he's like, I hate these things, and most people do kind of they hear the noise, they cut it off. So how do you balance this perspective of someone who is like, no, we're doing this, and the other one is like kind of in control because it has the car, but is like, I don't know, I'm reluctant, but still goes along with it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I first met Kerry and Summer, and the idea of this movie came to us from Lionsgate. It was a really good partner of ours, Lauren Bigsby at Lionsgate, who we've done several films with, and she loved this project. She was like, "This is, Lionsgate's all in on this one. It's a cool thriller. It's a cool concept." And then like when you're making it, it's like, you start. When you're putting it together, I'm sorry, before you even get to the point of making it, like you're just like going out to cash, you're doing all this kind of stuff, and then you like get Amber Alerts on your phone, right? And it's like, whoa, this is what we're making here. This means something, because we try to make films our company like that mean something and impactful. So besides being a cool thriller and like great actors a part of it, I think Hayden Panettiere has been saying it a bunch on her press tour. This is like a PSA, for Amber Alerts. So it's going to put people, I think, in a different mindset, of like when you get it, like, whoa. Keep your eyes out there for it, because it could be, you can see the car anywhere.
Yeah, and I think that's what I loved about it was that there's not very many films that we see that put you in this "what would you do" moment. And I've had a situation that was similar, and where I saw like a kid in the back seat banging on the window, and you go into, okay, what do I do? I either let it go, or I have to do something. And I believe I drove to the side, and I was like, hey. Like, is that your kid? And they're like, yeah, they're bad. And I was like, okay. And you can kind of see the kid go, sit down, and so. But yeah, this situation is something that you don't see very often. So is this like something that could be explored more after Amber Alert? For one, I do believe it will be successful because it's really good. Yeah, it's a really good thriller, and especially with I love films that have can do a lot with a small cast. And this does so much. So is this a route that could be, further explored?
Yeah, here you go.
Amber Alert 2.
Electric Boogaloo. Yeah, I mean, we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves or anything, but we definitely have,
we see just
a few ideas that we know that we would do.
For sure, I think, right? That's the goal, Kerry.
Yeah.
What number is Marvel up to?
21.
20. Yeah. Can we beat that? Can we beat that?
Yeah, like an anthology. Also, I mean, we have. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. It's just getting the green light to go do it. Yeah.
So what what was the reasoning for picking Kentucky? And I mean, the setting is perfect to what we eventually get to see. But why was that the first place, and why Kentucky?
Well, I could say first from the producer standpoint, we looked at places that it would be financially beneficial to shoot it. And because of their tax incentive, it made our short list. And because of Amber Alerts happening all over the country, we really had a lot of flexibility with where we could choose to shoot.
Originally, the draft is set in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
Which is like the kidnapping capital of the country.
Really?
Yeah.
I have no clue.
And cartel stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
But then
sense.
once, the team, we knew we were going to do it. We wanted to be financially sound, and it was just like Kentucky was the spot.
And I think you also loved the lushness. And, we didn't shoot it like anywhere USA. We definitely dug into Louisville and what that means and what it would feel like in that space. But it definitely feels like it could be anywhere. And a lot of people, I think, could see themselves in it.
Yeah. You did great. I mean, it's, a lot of road scenes, right? So it's like a lot of highway, a lot of like inner city Louisville downtown. And it really looks really cool the way it's shot. I mean, our actors were probably in the car together 80% of the shoot. So
7 days.
Yeah.
7 days.
Out of the 20, which is crazy. That's a lot.
Yeah, but it felt like, I mean, it's 80% of the movie, and it's, it was Louisville was a great backdrop for it. So it just fit, incentive wise, crew wise, all the resources that we had. We lucked out mostly with the weather, and it was, it was overall a very great experience. We want to go back, for more there.
And how when you guys get together, what is the conversation like for how dark the film is going to be? Because it hinges on like being very dark because the subject matter itself is dark. But once we get to that third act, it gets really intense. But what is that conversation like of like how dark do we go and how fine of a line do we need to walk?
I'll start off just by talking like the cast really plays a huge role. And like, when you have two very likable actors in Tyler James Williams and Hayden Panettiere, it's like, yes, it's dark, but like you root for these two characters as an audience, right? So yes, you're rooting for them. You're like support. Hayden hasn't, been on the screen in a while, right? So her fans are like so excited to see it. And Tyler mostly does a lot of comedy. So I think that plays well with, this story, how it is, I have kids, twins that are 9 years old, and I lost one for like 8 seconds one time, and I turned completely white and was ready to like lose my mind, right? So I think a lot of people at home that are gonna, watch this that will have kids, I think you're gonna be rooting for the cast, Tyler and Hayden, and it's like every parent's worst nightmare, So I think the fact that we cast so well, we got great support from the city of Kentucky. I think it's gonna be. I think people are going to love it, and feel like I don't want to give too much away because a lot of crazy stuff happens in it. But, I think all people are going to keep their eyes open for Amber Alerts out there.
Yeah, you guys got a millennial royalty in this movie. Like those two we've all watched for so long. How was it? Were those two the first kind of actors you were looking for, or how did that come about?
I mean, they were they were the right actors at the right time. I couldn't imagine the film with anyone else now. They were both, we zoomed with them. They were charming. They loved the script, their team, and they were great. And I would say about Kentucky, the crew out there was amazing. Like, I've never been to Kentucky before then. I just knew like Kentucky basketball or, certain things. And they were just salt of the earth. They knew our story, that we've been trying to get this made for so long. And they were like family, like we're just helping us at any cost and just going really hard. And so they were, because we couldn't afford to bring out lots of people, so they were awesome. And I grew up in Seattle. So Kentucky has that like lush green feel that I grew up with. It's just a little hotter and sweatier.
Yeah, I think one of the best parts of the film is that chemistry they have with each other, because there's this parenting message and dynamic, even though they're like technically not together, but there's that they become almost like parents in the fact that they want to save this child so much. Um, so like with you all being parents, like how hard does the movie hit you? After you're seeing it all play out, like as an audience member instead of the filmmakers.
I will just say, as a mom, I obviously have read this script hundreds of times and been there throughout the whole entire filming and editing process. And I still am like, like it's suspenseful. It definitely hits a chord with me being a mom that is intense and definitely has me rooting for them. And I'm in from the get-go and like excited for the ride.
Yeah, and me too. Like Joe, I remember losing one of my little kids at a supermarket for like 8 seconds, and it felt like an hour. My blood was, what my heart was racing. I was screaming, "Where is he? Where is he?" And I still think, like, even I watch it and I'm getting into it, and it's a fun ride with an amazing cast, which I think we were very fortunate.
Yeah, I mean that's we were talking about like the bad guy in this. I guess you would say it's kind of like it's like Jaws almost. Like and you'll see like a lot of in the film. I think the audience will relate to, like, people are just having a normal day. Like that's what life is like. You're out there having a normal day. You don't know what's going to happen, right? And then you're not thinking this could happen to us. And a lot of that is just parents. Like we're out. I mean, we've had all these different things happen to our kids, like you don't know. And so that's kind of like you're going to be on alert as a parent. I think I'm even more alert because of this film.
Yeah, and I think the opening shot, because the world is so different than when all of us were kids, and the opening shot is kind of what it grabbed me really quick, because you realize how vulnerable kids are just playing outside, because you can't allow them just to go run off and play like we used to. So yeah, there's a lot of like powerful shots, and I think, what was I going to go to? Oh yeah, so I know you kind of touched on it before, but is that kind of the goal of this film, is to get people to kind of pay attention more when you see these Amber Alerts, and to think about this on like a kind of regular basis of like, what would you do if you had the chance to save somebody?
I mean, I think the initially, I didn't think of that. It was just like, this idea, this hook is awesome. What would you do? But then as we started to write it and create it, that definitely played a part into it, because people will always like, I've always wondered what I would do with an Amber Alert. So we tried to make the film as realistic as possible. It was never like we're doing Vin Diesel car scenes, like jumping car to car, Tomb Raider. She's not going to be like doing crazy stunts or things like that. It was always just like, what would just two ordinary people get brought into this extraordinary situation? And that was always what we had to do. If we never wanted to jump the shark and like, now he's going to turn into some ninja or something crazy like that.
The other thing I would say is that it's interesting as our team gets bigger and everyone who gets involved in the project. Anytime you see an Amber Alert, like you're all texting, like your awareness is so much more heightened. Yeah. So we hope that happens with everybody who sees the film.
Yeah, we were actually in Kentucky, like maybe a day or two before, and we all got texts from Hayden and Tyler that they got the same Amber Alert. So you're right. I remember that. Everyone is like, can you believe this? And
yeah. So we hope. I mean, what a great benefit.
Yeah. So I guess I'll leave it off with something light. I've done this before, and we'll just go online. If you were, it's a silly question. If you were a cartoon character, what would be your everyday outfit?
Hold on.
Everyday outfit.
Yeah, the characters are always in that same thing. This clearly would probably be mine. My whole closet's black, so.
If I was a cartoon character, what would I be wearing?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I don't even like a cartoon character. What would I wear? Huh? Oh man. Like probably. Dude, that's a tough one, man. I haven't thought of that.
Your workout outfit?
No, maybe like Archer. Maybe I don't know. Like I could wear like a dressed up. That's a tough one, man. I have never been. It's definitely silly. I mean, cartoon character. I can't see myself wearing tight like leotard things or anything. Like superhero.
Now we can.
Yeah, you thinking about that? I think just like a. Man.
Archer works.
Archer is what I
Archer
would
works.
be. That's what I would be, I guess. Yeah. That's a nice one though. That's a nice question.
As a fashion girl, I think there's nothing more powerful than a little black dress. So I would do the LBD.
Nice. What does Wile E. Coyote wear? Does he have an outfit?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Go.
I'd go nothing.
I like it.
That's my outfit. Is just moving and shaking with nothing.
Just a sensor bar the whole time.
Yes. Absolutely nothing. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. Amber Alert out in theaters and on demand September 27th. I hope everyone checks it out because it is fantastic. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.